Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to the place to be on a Sunday night, where tonight on Top Split TV we're bringing you round 11 of season 19 of the Sunday Night Lights. And tonight I'm your host once again with my partner in crime, fresh off his first 24-hour stream, Mr. Corey Steinhauser. Corey, welcome back. Big night of racing ahead of us once again.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Alex. And we have an absolutely awesome facility in which we are conducting tonight's race, the Oulton Park circuit, the long version of the circuit with a couple of chicanes chucked in as well. Should be an absolutely fantastic night of racing and a really big soft here tonight as well, Alex.
Yeah, look, biggest of the week by some margin, 43.64 or thereabouts. Oh, look, apart from the warm-up race, it's, what's that, 1,200 higher than 1,250 higher than any other race in the week to this point. So the people getting out on track, supporting the series, putting on a good show for the folks at home, and that's what it's all about at the end of the day. For the community, by the community, that's what we like to say. On your screen at the moment, last week's winner, Mr. Tim Hendrickson, back for another crack at it. We opened with our series leader at the moment, Mr. Benjamin Smith, on your screen at the moment. He's had 3 wins this season already for Evolution Racing Team, and he is ready to get amongst it once again, Corey.
That's exactly right, Alex. And he's coming off uh, quite a bit of a race in the warm up. A little bit of drama in the race unfolded, and we also had a breakaway winner. It'll be interesting to see if tonight's race for us will go the same way. I guess that's just one thing we're going to have to wait and see, as it looks like everyone's starting to get on the second half of their laps, coming around to complete their first laps of running here.
Yeah, 2 quick laps, of course. The tyre model is such at the moment that the second lap typically will be well in advance of the second. We saw a little bit of tyre warming going on around the joint, but that's to be expected. We've got Cristobal Otero for across Simart Competition on the screen at the moment. He had a fiery race in the warm-up with Mr. Benny Simmons from UK&I, who's got plenty of real track experience around here. So I was watching some footage, Corey and I were watching some footage before the program started, with Benny on 2 wheels through turn 1. It was quite exciting, Corey.
Oh, it definitely was, Alex. I still have no idea how that car did not go over on him. As we're starting to see some of the laps coming in, Benjamin Smith at the moment on top with a 51.127. It's very quick. We saw him in the warm-up race. This one go for a 49.1 undrafted, Alex, which is 49.91, which is some absolutely incredible pace.
Yeah, 49s around here is outstanding, let alone undrafted. So Smith certainly showing he's the one to beat this season throughout, and tonight once again hoping to do it from up front. Adam Tompkins, he's joined us once again in the 14 car from UK&I here tonight. Joe Osborne, seen him a couple of times, seen him, he's been a bit of Skippy regular this season, car number 15 here tonight. We've got Renhofer back again. Raphael's joined us once again. He's in the 11 car tonight. There's a few out there that are familiar this season. We've got Manuel Lucetta from Italy, of course, joining us once again. Great to see Manuel out there. He looks like he's got a bit of Thrustmaster Mivano about him. I'll have to update the overlays, that's for sure. Breaking Bad Motorsports, Christian Gabanka, he's out there as well. So new names and old out there. It's great to see them out on track supporting the series once again.
That's right, Alex. And another name that we haven't seen for a while, if ever, is Takahiro Ishikawa. Obviously, I'm guessing here one of our Asian representatives, and he's looking pretty all right as the 18 car, currently P14, as he makes his way down the start-finish line to finish his second lap. That is going to give him a time of a 1:51.670, which slots him into the 8th position at the moment. Not a bad time at all for
No.
our Japanese friend here.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Cantor jumping up. The Thrustmaster Mivano driver, he's up to P3. Smith, of course, setting the pace with his second lap. He's done a 50.6. Tell you what, there'll be plenty of folks out there who would have liked to have done that lap in draft during the week, let alone on their quali lap. That's an outstanding time, I should say. We're on board with Otero at the moment. Let's get that better look there. What sort of times he got going on? He's done a 50. Oh, sorry. Smith leading the way with a 50.6 as Otero comes through Druids, a double apex right-hander on the closeout of his second lap. Comes into the braking zone at Lodge. Chucks it down into second. Nice bit of the apex there. Probably a bit late on the gas there. Didn't use all the track on exit. That might cost him a bit of time. He's down to a... No, he was not quicker. I don't think. 51.4. He must have been. Actually, he hadn't set a time before that. Well, he's at P9 for the start as we tick on over. Let's grab a look at our grid quickly. For round 11 here at Oulton Park Circuit, we have Benjamin Smith for Evolution Racing Team with a 50.6, some 2.8 tenths ahead of Tim Hendrickson for Team Torpedo in P2. Andy Carey from ANZ in P3 here tonight. Benny Simmons and UK&I in P4. Enzo Cantor for Thrustmaster Movano. He's in P5 tonight. Adrian Farinez Rodriguez from Iberia returning to the series in P6 off the grid. Manuel Lucetta from Italy, the other Thrustmaster driver, in here for P7 off the grid. Adam Tompkins from UK&I starting in P8. Cristobal Otero for a Cross Simart competition in P9. Rafael Renhofer starting out of P10 tonight. Håkon Grebstad, Team Oulton representative here in P11. Christian Kabanka for Breaking Bad Motorsports in P12 off the line tonight. Joe Osborne for UK&I in 13th. Takahiro Ishikawa from Japan. I've got to get those flags fixed. And P14 off the line. P15 for Team Milo Seoul representative John Scholz. Harvey Tobara Rodriguez from Iberian P16. Philip Saunders from ANZ in 17th. Michael Fabian, similarly from ANZ in P18th. Strength of field, a whopping 43.65. All important track temp at 32 degrees. Pretty warm, actually. So it makes those times in quali not quite as surprising as we might otherwise have expected, but we'll make the race starts. The race is starting. Thank you, Sodi. The racing out there all the more interesting. Will we see the magic 1:49 second barrier cracked? I'd say with this sort of field, we may well do, with 18 cars ready to get going for the first of 13 laps as the starter tells the drivers to get ready. Red lights mean rev. Green lights mean go, and we are away on first of 13 laps, as we said, as the drivers make their way down to the first corner at Old Hall the first time around. It's pretty nose to tail at the moment. Most of the field getting through okay, Corey. Looks like we've had some of the best racing we've ever seen in SNL at this track. Let's hope we get another one tonight, Corey.
That's exactly right, Alex. I mean, who can forget the two wide action that we had for an entire lap on the shortened version of this circuit last season? Absolutely incredible action as we see in the middle of the pack with Enzo Cantor going off track there. I'm not sure who that yellow car there was. I think that might have been our sixth place Adrian Rodriguez there. Unfortunate start for both of those drivers. Enzo able to carry on, but he's stuck behind Håkon Grebstad, who's mired down in the pack a little bit here, Alex.
Yeah, we'll go back and sit with Enzo as he came down the hill on the first lap there. Tough right-hander. He's got the 3 car behind him in Rodriguez. Looks like they're going down the straight okay. A little bit of... looks like wheel to wheel on the straight there. Netcode probably didn't help. Very tricky corner coming into the hairpin at Island Bend. And that's... they've both hooked wheels there. And that sent both of them off into the grass. Cantor managing to hang on a little bit better. But certainly Rodriguez, he's... competitive nights over as the 12 car comes on the exit of Druids there. He's certainly come out firing as Andy Carey, as our front two, Smith and Hendrickson, looking to run away with it potentially. But certainly the field's starting to settle down now, Corey.
Well, we can only hope that they settle down a little bit here, Alex. We don't want to lose too many people too early. But at the moment, Hendrickson and Smith, they're the class act of the field at the moment. and they've got themselves quite the gap already back to the third place driver of Benny Simonson, who has had a head and shoulders better start than what he did to the opening uh, practice race for this one. And Manuel Lucetta right behind him as well in fourth. These guys are all going to be working hard in this second pack. It's a four-car second pack by the looks of things. But Benny Simonson just holding on to that draft a little bit of Hendrickson, hoping that he can try and bridge that gap a little bit here, Alex.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Henderson and Smith looking to run away with it. They've got, by the looks of it, a 0.9 of a second gap as they head through the first of the two chicanes here at Britain's. Up the hilltop straight now, you've got Hendrickson and Smith looking to break away down to 8/10. So Simpson looking to have pulled a little bit back down this short straight. You only just get to tickle fifth gear here as they come through the second of the two chicanes now at Hislops. Through Knickerbrook now and up the hill, up Clay Hill towards Tower and that all-important Druids corner. Great when you get it right. Limited passing opportunity there into Druids, but no one looking to take advantage of it at the moment as Hendrickson tucked in behind is of Smith there in his draft well and truly, and Simonson really bridging that gap. And I tell you what, Simonson's bringing a few with him all the way down to Tompkins in P6 on the back of this train, and behind Tompkins, Alex words. You've got Grebstead now has made a move into the final corner by the looks, and he's got through on Otero to take him up to 7th. They're 1.2 behind Tompkins in 6th. That might be enough. Oh, 3 wide behind. Are they? Oh, into the rear. The 10 car of Cantor looks to be into the rear of, who was that? Dropping down the order. Renhofer. We might go and have a look at that. They were looking to go 3 wide there into turn 1 at Old Hall briefly. You see the Renhofer there and the 11 cars loose. He kind of moved over a little bit. And then Cantor's into the rear, lost his front. One of the droids will be out on that one. Renhofer's his wheels gone there. Certainly an eventful start to this one for Cantor, that's for sure, Corey.
That's exactly right, Alex. And I'm still watching Enzo now. He's still locked in a very fierce battle here with Christian Kabanka now. John Schultz right up behind these two as they're battling, and Schultzy is now under siege from Rodriguez, who's looking to join into this battle. These guys have been continuing to fight it out very hard at the moment, Alex, as we go through to Hislops now, the Hislops chicane. These guys absolutely fighting tooth and nail. We're only on the 3rd lap, so these guys are definitely wasting a little bit of time here. They've lost so much ground to Joe Osborne in the 15 car in front of them. It's going to be hard for these guys to try and bridge this gap now, Alex.
Yeah, 3.2 seconds. I think that's the gap. No, let me see. Yeah, Enzo Cantor now leading that 3rd pack from 10th. He's 3.3 seconds, approaching 3.4. They're not going to bridge that gap in a hurry. Osborne sitting in behind Otero at the moment with Grebstad looking to bridge his own gap. He's down to 1.2 from Tompkins, who's on the tail end of that lead pack now. Although Andy Carey, he's been dropped by Simonson, and he's got Lucetta and Tompkins in behind him as they go through turn 1 at the start of lap 4. And it is now a breakaway of 3 cars led by Smith, Hendrickson in second, with Simonson coming down the hill now into the Cascades, or out of the Cascades, down the Lakeside straight into Island now. There's half an opportunity to overtake here. You've got to be so brave, though, going through Island as Hendrickson shows the nose through that very corner. It's a way to set up the pass, but it's going to go a little bit of contact there. You got Hendrickson and Smith. Both, they're dropping parts and chucking them at the cars behind. Looks like Hendrickson's nose is gone. I'll tell you what, you've got to be really brave to get it done through there. And these two coming off a little bit worse for wear. As you can see, the blue and orange Team Torpedo car of Tim Hendrickson has suffered as a result of that incident. And it looks like Simonson has got the potential to go away with it. It all depends on how much damage Smith picked up out of that. We can see the damage visually on Hendrickson's car, and that's also brought Carey back into it. And we've now once again got a 6-car lead pack, Corey. And look at that, Grebstad in the background, looking to make it 7 if he can. I'll tell you what, if he's within the 1 second mark, you've got a lead pack all the way down to P9, Corey.
And that's absolutely incredible, Alex. And as I keep saying every week, it just takes one little mistake for everything to get closed up. And Simonson there just absolutely picking the pockets of Hendrickson and Smith while they were having their own little kerfuffle there. And Hendrickson actually doing very well to hold on to this third position right now. It looks like he's going to be battling to try and take back second here. They're going to go almost three wide as now Carey comes up on the inside of Hendrickson to take away third. Hendrickson's definitely struggling a little bit with the damage he's got. But I've got to say, Alex, he is definitely fighting very hard here with the damage he's got. He goes back up the inside of Carey into the Cascades on the outside now. That's not where you want to be, and he's going to go off onto the grass. Very, very difficult place to try and make an overtake, especially around the outside, Alex.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's doing remarkably well just to keep the thing on the track at this stage, let alone be that competitive. As you see up ahead of him, Carey now fighting with Smith. It makes you wonder how much damage Smith's carrying. Carey goes up the inside at Shell Oil's corner there. That well, I was going to say first or second gear. There's a few corners here that you really odds on. You've got a choice depending on the circumstances whether you go first or second. It's really in between at a couple of places around here. Depends on whether you want to carry the momentum. If you're carrying the momentum as your style, or you want to get the drive out with the higher revs, use the engine for braking and turning. So a couple of choices to be made here at this track. Compromises all round, but certainly Hendrickson, the one car tonight here, he looks like he might drop a bit further down this field as they run up Clay Hill now. Again, another potential passing opportunity into Druids up here as we see the 6 and the 8 car, Grebstad and Lucetta go side by side. Lucetta's going to force Grebstad to go around the outside at Druids. Very tough to get it done there. Double apex right-hander, or two right-handers really, but they call it the single corner there at Druids. Now into the final corner at Lodge is your first, or your only really legit threshold braking passing opportunity there as Lucetta really working hard to keep Grebstad behind him, Corey.
He is indeed, Alex, and I'm not sure if he will be able to, especially with a little bit of draft that Hawkon's going to get here, although Hawkon still just sitting back there in the 7th position. Lucetta ran a little bit wide on the exit of 1, but he's going to be unfazed by Hawkon now. Hawkon just sitting in behind, biding his time as we go through the Cascades. It'd be very smart for Hawkon just to hold on until maybe Island Bend or Shell Oil's corner to try and maybe effect a move here. But we'll just have to wait and see. It's still early in the race, Alex. We're not even halfway through this yet. And already Benny Simonson in the 5 car is just pulling away from everyone else.
Yeah, he's running a lone race here, I should say. Carey, the only one looking like he'd have any chance of challenging now as he goes through Britain's chicane. He's 2 seconds, nearly 2.1 seconds behind is young Carey, the 12-plater car here tonight, doing a fantastic job, seated only 12th here as they head through Hislops now. And behind him he's got Smith, who I would suggest, based on his previous pace in the warm-up race, he's carrying some damage after that incident. Oh, as behind we see Grebstad in the thick of a battle now with Osborne. Osborne's got the inside running here into Druids. Can he make it stick? I tell you what, it's compromise line on the way in. Oh, it was the inevitable. Grebstad's off on the outside there. Netcode, I have no doubt, had a part to play in that, but it's very, very tough to do that move there through Druids. You've got to have a lot of confidence, and you've got to give a little to get a little there between two drivers going side by side. As we jump back up the front, we've got Carey in a distant second now. Smith on the head of this pack, racing for the final step on the podium. Hendrickson doing remarkably well with half a car left after that earlier incident. He's now well and truly ensconced back in that battle with Smith, who, as I was saying before, based on his pace, he's only done a 51 dead as his best lap. I'd say he'd be down on pace, carrying a bit of damage, Corey.
I would say so too, Alex. I mean, the contact that Hendrickson and Smith had was definitely damage causing for both of them. We don't know the extent of Smith's damage, but I'd have to say maybe he'd be a little bit down on engine power, as Hendrickson has the new Butte air conditioning system going through his car right now. but both of them still doing very well to hold on to their third and fourth positions here. I thought that at least Hendrickson would have been getting absolutely swamped with how much damage he has on the front end. But in saying that, he still has his entire front wing, Alex, which is a little bit odd to see with the amount of front end damage that he's got.
Yeah, well, the front nose cone missing, that's for sure. But the wings looking remarkably solid. So I don't know what that says about the damage model, but certainly he and Smith continuing their battle with Tompkins and Lucetta now tucked in behind. Now Osborne in a battle with Otero. He's as they go through Druids once again. On the tail end of lap 7 now. Meanwhile, up front, going through Lodge, the final corner or the exit thereof, you've got Simonson, and he's running a lonely race now. 2.2 seconds. He's just done a 50.2, which is still a 10th clear of Carey in second spot. And you've got Smith. He's done a 50.9 as his best lap of the race, and we know he's got a ton more pace than that. So again, we question the damages. He takes the line now through Denton's, down through the Cascades now. Oh, running a bit wide there and opening the door for Tompkins was for Lucetta was Tompkins there. But Lucetta's top duck back in, although he's going to go and show the nose through Island there, but tucks back in behind as they approach Shellor's corner there. This, well, I'm going to call it a second gear corner, but plenty of fellas will be taken first, no doubt. But look, this is really the battle to watch here, Corey. Although just behind you've got Osborne and Otero. Grebstad's managed to hang on, and now he's or recover from that incident through Druids. He's got Kabanka and Skoltz behind him, so we will see a Milo Ovaltine chocolate drink battle this week. But it's the fight to stay in the top 10, Corey.
Yeah, that's right, Alex, and both of them will be fighting very hard. Both Grebstad and Skoltz currently separated by the 9-plated car of Kabanka at the moment. But these guys, these two particularly, have fought a lot, both in FNRC and in SNL and previously MNL back when we ran this event on Monday nights. And these two are well versed in what each other is like on the track. And it's going to be an interesting battle if Skoltzy can get around Kabanka. But if not, then this could fizzle out a little bit. Could be an easy win for Oulton, but I wouldn't count out John Skoltz because he does have pace. Just when he knows how to use it is going to be the question.
Yeah, and tucked in the middle of that chocolate drink sandwich, you've got Breaking Bad's Motorsports, Christian Kabanka up early, once again joining us from the US of A. Meanwhile, back up front, we've got Simonson running that lonely race. He's now 2.8 seconds, having done a 49.9 last lap. I'll tell you what, Hendrickson, have we lost him? I think we've lost Hendrickson. Anyway, we'll jump back up the front. Simonson's done a 49.9 undrafted. And we were saying the warm-up race saw Smith do exactly that. And I tell you what, wouldn't that have been a battle, Smith and Simonson? But it's not to be now, as through the first chicane at Britain's, we've got Carey trying to chase him down, but he's only done a 50.3 last lap. Certainly losing time. Smith on the front of that pack, cutting the air for the drivers of Tompkins and Lucetta behind him, or Lucetta. He's only managed a 50.8. So certainly the class of the field as it stands at the moment, Simonson just running away with it, Corey.
Yeah, that's right, he is, Alex. I do have a little bit of an update on Hendrickson. When he did finally come back into corporealization, he was off the track on the exit of Cascades just after he had made some contact with the wall. So obviously, while he was blinked out, to him, his car was still solid, and he got shuffled off the track. I'm not sure whether it would have been by Smith or Tompkins, but unfortunately, that is going to be the end of Hendrickson's race in this one. As going back to Smith, he is still holding on to this third place in front of Tompkins and Lucetta. And Lucetta looking to maybe try and make a move around the outside of Tompkins, unable to do so, getting into the grass, speedway styling it a little bit. He's going to have the inside run for Denton's and the Cascades. And we'll have to wait and see how this is going to work out for them. It's a sketchy place to go 2x2, Alex.
Oh, absolutely. I tell you what, Tompkins didn't leave much room on the outside of one there. Now, here's the question. Can they get through Island successfully? Luquetta's coming up the inside. I tell you what, they've done really well throughout this race. Even when the tyres come up to temp, very loose through the rear there. Now, as they go through Shell, side by side they remain. This is the sort of racing we like to see at Oulton Park. Side by side throughout as they come now into Britain's chicane. Oh, they're very brave. They're leaving the room, and I tell you what, it's taken the better part of half a lap, but Luquetta's got it done. Tompkins relegated to P5. Will he have a look into the next chicane at Hislops? No, he's going to settle for that position. Maybe it'll be the end of this lap. What a battle, Corey. And in behind, looks like it's looming behind. You got Osborne and Otero. That little battle has cost them, and it's also cost them the draft of Smith, but it's brought Osborne and Otero back into this as well as they run up to Druids now. And Luquetta, having freed himself, I don't think Tompkins is going to have the look into the final corner at Lodge this time round. I don't think he's going to be close enough.
Well, we'll have to wait and see, Alex, because he has been closing in on this short shoot just before they got into it. No, he's not going to look this time. He might be utilizing the draft, trying to effect an overtake, going through the first corner. But that little bit of a side-by-side exchange that these two had definitely reminded me shades of the last time we came here to the short version of the track. And what was an incredible side-by-side battle for an entire lap and a corner. And these guys are definitely turning up the heat as well as they should, Alex, because we're on lap 11 of 13. This is when the action generally starts to heat up, and these guys are definitely showing that the action is on now.
Yeah, absolutely. Really starting to heat up. Meanwhile, up at the front, it's not so warm. Simmons out to a 3.3 seconds lead over Carey coming through Island this time round. This battle pack now is where it's at. You've got 4 drivers looking to get busy with it. Smith ahead of Luquetta, Tompkins and Osborne now joining in. Otero really just starting to drop off the back there. I'll tell you what, these boys will be looking to get busy in the remainder of this race. Jumping back to our battle, Kabanka has got on the front and got the better of the Milo and Ovaltine battle, which now will rage on behind, but expect to see some action as Grebstad likes to get amongst it. Running up the back straight now at Hilltop into the second chicane, shows the nose, tries to force a mistake, but Kabanka having none of it, gets through there cleanly. Perhaps the next opportunity will be either run into Druids or into Lodge. But jumping back up to our secondary battle pack now, fighting for the last position on the podium. I'll tell you what, Luquetta's worked very hard for his money here tonight. On the approach into log shows, oh, Smith takes a late defensive. Oh, he's got out of it. Smith's got out of it and he's let them through. I don't know what that's about. Maybe he's worried about the damage playing a part in the final bit, but or maybe he didn't fuel. I don't know, but he's dropping like a stone at the moment. Luquetta now taking over, or Luquetta, I've got to pick one and stick with it. Luquetta taking the wide line of the exit of one there. He's got Tompkins and Osborne now tucked in behind Corey with about 1 and a bit laps to go. The balance of 2. This is where the action will be, I think.
It definitely will be, Alex, because we're definitely not going to see any action out of our top 2 drivers who have just run away from the respective packs. And I'm just keeping an eye here on Smith. He's definitely not looking comfortable in the car. Not even showing the pace that he showed earlier in this race after him and Hendrickson had that little bit of contact. And he's under attack, actually, from Otero. I don't think he's going to even be able to hold on to the top 6 position here, Alex. Such is the case, although he has caught up to the back of this pack in front of him again as Tompkins got shuffled out as a move was made going through Shell Oil's corner. But at the moment, leading this little bit of a pack is Joe Osborne in the 15 car. Is it going to be a great little gain of I rating for him if he continues to finish here? Likewise, also for Tompkins sitting in 4th, as we see Luquetta just taking a little bit of a defensive, use the entire track kind of line, almost a move there going into Druids, holding position at the moment, Alex, as they come around the final or come up to the final corner, getting ready to start their final lap here.
Tell you what, Osborne had some action that lap. He got past Tompkins at Shell, the hairpin there, and I tell you what, either it was a mistake from Tompkins or a little bit of netcode, and then he's putting all sorts of pressure over Lucchetta into turn one. He's not going to have a look. He's going to follow him down, perhaps try through that tricky island bend or wait till the final corner. The story is yet to be told, but I tell you what, Osborne's putting all sorts of pressure, forces Lucchetta to go defensive through the Cascades now on this final lap. This is the battle, I think, although Duck watching behind. Smith's been taken by Tompkins, or should I say Tompkins dropped back to Smith. Oh, look at it. They're going to go side by side. Osborne's putting all sorts of pressure. Oh, I'll tell you what, they've got it done. That's massive through there. Oh, Lucetta's into the rear and turned him. Oh, there's contact. Oh, they spew across the track. Osborne's on his lid. Roman's gone. We'll come back and look at that in a minute. Oh, terrible rejoin from Lucchetta. That's taken out, I think, Kabanka as Skoltz and Grebstad rage on in their battle. Oh, I'll tell you what, it was all to play for there. And there were some mistakes that were made, it has to be said. Oh, the battle's on here between Tompkins and Smith, side by side through the second chicane there. Tompkins got around. He's on the final step of the podium at this stage. Oh, I tell you what, we'll go back and have a look at that after the race, but there was some action in that hairpin at the end there. Simonson running away with it into the final corner now. I'll try and catch him over the line, but just going to watch Smith and Tompkins now into the final corner. Will Smith battle it out? Oh, I don't know, but I want to see Simonson crossing the line to take his first win of this season. Going back to Tompkins. He's going to hold off Smith by the looks. Oh, Smith, what a run on the outside there. Real pro move there. A little bit of contact maybe. Oh, no. Tompkins hung on. But I tell you what, stuck the nose up and forced his way around the outside. Brilliant there. The Battle of the Chocolate Drinks goes to Oulton once again this week. Cantor crossing all the way down in P11. Is he? Or he's not quite across the line yet. No, just coming up now. I tell you what, Lucchetta. Oh, I tell you what, he won't get many Christmas cards after that one. But let's go and take a look at that massive incident. I'm going to jump back a fair way, I think, to find it. Yeah, it was before. That seems like about it. So we got 2x2. Beautiful work through there, I have to say. That is very tough to do unscathed. But then Lucchetta's carrying all sorts of speed on Osborne, who's slow on entry there. Didn't carry too much, and then he's been hit in the rear by Tompkins by the looks. Osborne spewed across the track straight into Otero, and that was not fantastic, I have to say, for those guys. Otero has been minding his business the whole way through the race. He's trying to back across. He got another string of cars coming shortly as we try and speed things up again. Lucetta's gone back to get off the track and then pulled out in front of Kabanka. Oh, I tell you what, he'll regret that one. Manu big breaks Lucchetta. Probably should have thought about using them for a bit longer there. And the chocolate drink boys, they just sail on through. Oh, I tell you what, that's one for the books, Corey.
Indeed it is, Alex, and what a crazy last lap. Absolutely unbelievable. Good on Grebstad and Skoltz for being able to miss that. Unfortunate luck there for quite a few drivers, including Christian Kabanka, who ended up holding on to finish in 8th, Alex. That's not a bad recovery for him, as well, incredible race by Simonson to pick the pocket when it needed to be picked and managed to come away with an emphatic victory over Carey. But that action on the last lap, we knew it was going to happen, Alex, and the last lap is always a time when it does.
Oh, I'll tell you what, I was so impressed with the way they handled themselves through the preceding corner at Island Bend because, Otherwise, you've got Shell Corner there, that hairpin, where it's a legit passing opportunity if it was the end of a straight. But you've got this sweeping right hand, fourth to fifth gear corner, where the rear's wanting to let go. You want to poke the nose up the inside to get through there to get an advantage, but it puts you on the outside of the next corner. It's a really tricky manoeuvre that they handled so well. And then Lucetta just carrying all sorts of speed over the top of Osborne into Shell. Just, yeah, look, it's a racing incident at that point. But an unfortunate one, and then what ensued after that was even more so. But let's go and have a look at our final results here tonight for round 11 at Oulton Park, season 19 of Sunday Night Lights. Benny Simmons using his real world experience at this track to full effect. He got sort of dropped a little bit at the early stages, bridged the gap, and then took advantage of an unfortunate incident at a similar location, wasn't, if I'm not mistaken, or I can't remember, between Smith and Hendrickson. But he took out a great victory, the UK&I driver, followed by Andy Carey, the leading ANZ driver as well. Car number 12 got in amongst it throughout, finished P2, took full advantage of the race that unfolded for him. Adam Tompkins, a great drive from him, the 14-plated car. Just goes to show you can't always look at the number on the car, folks, to see how they finish on the night, finishing on the final step on the podium. Benjamin Smith for Evolution Racing Team, what an eventful race he had, and yet still managed to hang on for fourth. Great drive from him, on no doubt down on a bit of speed after that incident with Hendrickson. Hawkon Grebstead taking out the chocolate drink battle tonight for Team Oulton in P5. Perhaps not expecting to be that far up the order, it has to be said, after being sort of hovering around 8th and 9th all night long. John Scholz, the car 16 driver here tonight for Team Milo. He's finished in P6. Great drive for Scholzy. Philip Sanders for UK, or Saunders for UK, ANZ, I should say, finishing in P7 tonight. His highest finish, if I'm not mistaken. Breaking Bad Motorsports, Christian Kabanka, very unlucky, in the wrong place at the wrong time for Christian. He's finished in P8. Manuel Big Breaks Lucetta, he's called him after VIR, but not a race that he would like to remember, I'm sure. Michael Fabian for ANZ, rounding out your top 10. Enzo Cantor, the other Mivano racer here tonight, he's in P11. Harvey Torbara Rodriguez from the first of the Iberian drivers, rounding out the first page as we drop onto the second page with the second Iberian driver, Adrian Farinas Rodriguez, after that early incident cost him any competitive finish, finishing in P13 tonight. Unlucky for Joe Osborne, UK&I driver, who was right in amongst it. Really aggressive racing here tonight, but he's come a cropper at the end through no fault of his own, I'd have to say, in P14. Similarly, Cristobal Otero for Cross Simart Competition. He was very unlucky in that late race incident as well in P15. Raphael Renhofer joining us once again, finishing only in 16th. 17th went to Takahiro Ishikawa. P18 tonight. Team Torpedoes, Tim Hendrickson, from first to last in 2 weeks. It's very unfortunate for Tim. Strength of field, as we said, 43.65. Fastest lap, I would say, draft assisted tonight, was Joe Osborne at a 149.8. Fantastic drive for Joe. As unfortunate as it did end, he got his name on the board for something, Corey.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right, Alex. And again, it's an absolutely incredible race by everyone. It's unfortunate that we had a lot of our top guys like Otero, Renhofer, and Hendrickson not do so well. But at the end of the day, it was a great race, had by all, and a lot of action. And I can't wait until next week, which will be our final week, to see what action we have coming up, because these guys have just been absolutely turning it up as we've gotten the season on.
Yeah, absolutely. Next week, of course, from Montreal, a few chicanes and a hairpin. A very famous street circuit, of course, as well. But we do have someone waiting in the booth. Benny Smith joining us this week. Look, Benny, you certainly had the pace to burn. I'm gathering you picked up a bit of damage in that early contact with Hendrickson, but hanging on to fourth in what was quite an eventful race, mate.
Yeah, pretty disappointing. Felt like I was pretty quick this week, so not too stoked to not be taking home the cookies tonight, but I'm glad Tim decided to wreck the race at the start, not the end. So there was something to work for. Just towards the end, I saw those guys were catching the gaggle of four of them. Strategic move to pull over to the side, let them all through, and hope that they would come together, and it kind of worked out all right.
Yeah, I wondered about that because he pulled over. I thought you took a late defensive move. Then I saw you let the string of cars past. I figured there was some strategy in there somewhere for you, and it paid off pretty much at the end. The final battle with Tompkins, the only thing other than the early incident that didn't go your way out of that. But I figured you were down on pace, mate, because we saw in the warm up race a clean air 49, which is really quick around here. And I tell you what, I was disappointed because I was looking forward to seeing the race between you and Simmons. And Simonson, he similarly pulled out an undrafted 49 around here, so it would have been a battle for the ages, I think.
It would have been a good run around here. It's a track that you've got to earn your overtakes, I think. So yeah, it would have been nice to have some good, respectful racing with the top guys.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Well, thank you for joining us. Now, I was looking at the standings earlier tonight. You're clear out in front there, mate, by 20 odd or 19 points with a race in hand. So you're only going to extend your lead from here. It's been great having you in the series so far. I'm looking forward pretty early to crowning this season's champion, mate. So we hope to see you next week. But if just in case, mate, congratulations on a great season.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, really enjoyed getting back into iRacing over the last 12 weeks. So I'll definitely be hanging around.
Awesome, mate. Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, thanks to Andy, my what do they call it, a pro rata teammate or something. We kind of worked together in the race prior, and obviously everyone in the ERT, if boys are doing some big racing in Scops tonight, so head on over to that if that's still going on after this broadcast.
Beautiful. Thanks, Benny. Great to see you again, mate, and look forward to perhaps seeing you next week to finish off in style.
Have a good night. Thanks for the broadcast.
Yeah, Corey Betty Smith, pretty magnanimous about his race tonight, which was good to see. Obviously disappointed. Oh, I tell you what, he had some pace too. So one perhaps that got away from us here tonight in terms of the good racing, but these things happen out there, don't they?
Well, that's exactly right. I mean, incidents are a part of motorsport. We know that technically motorsport is not a contact sport, but we know it always happens. And it was a great fight back. And at the end of the day, he still got a top five, which is a very respectable position to end yourself in after what could have been a race-ending accident. So good on you, Benjamin, and congratulations on such a great recovery for that race.
Yeah, 100%. Really impressed with how Benny's handled himself this season. On the track, he's been lightning and certainly a deserved winner of the series if that's the way it goes after the full 12 rounds. Well, joining us now is Team Ovaltine's Hawkon Grebstad, who I have to say, probably pretty lucky to finish in the top five with all the stuff that went on around you, mate.
For sure. Really happy to finish top five. Obviously, it came to be because of some unfortunate things happening on the track, but yeah, top five is a good finish for me, especially here. I was really struggling for pace, but I can't help but think what would have been if Joe hadn't gotten me through Druids there.
Yeah, look, it looked side by side through there's tough to do. Very aggressive overtake on the inside there. I'm wondering if there's a little bit of netco, but either way, it's very tough to go through there side by side. One of the few passing opportunities that there are around here, but I'll tell you what, it's one of the riskier ones, that's for sure.
Oh, it is for sure. But he was, really pressuring through the couple corners earlier, which caused us to lose the draft. I don't know. He just wasn't being nice, so I didn't want to let him through. And he didn't hold his line, and we touched. So that's how it goes.
Yeah, it's all part of racing. I think different styles there, and unfortunate, it ran you a bit wide, I should say. Pleased to see you didn't end up in the wall, and you managed to revive the chocolate drink rivalry for this week, mate, and Ovaltine finishing on top.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, mate. Well, thanks for joining us once again. Anyone like to give a shout out to?
Just you guys for doing this thing, and I guess Benny for winning.
Yeah, nice one. All right, thanks, Corcoran. We'll talk to you in the weeks to come.
See you guys.
There you go, Corey Hawken Grebstad, joining us once again for another week. It was, look, top five's nothing to sneeze at, particularly in this field, that's for sure.
Well, that's exactly right, Alex. And with all the difficulties that befell the other guys in this race, it's amazing that Hawkon and John Scholz as well both actually managed to not get caught up in that last lap shenanigans in the shell corner. So congratulations to Hawkon for his top five. It was a great effort, and he waited and waited, and he made the right moves at the right time, and it worked out for him. So good on him.
Yeah, absolutely. He's done well. All right, we've got one driver left to speak. And just before he does, I'm going to remind him it's a PG stream. We've got Mr. Christian Kabaka, who's no doubt got a bit of steam left between the ears or coming out of it for Breaking Bad Motorsport. Christian, looked like you're having fun with the Milo and Oulton boys, but then you've come around the hairpin there at Shell, and lo and behold, there's a Thrustmaster Movano car streaking across the track.
It's PG, right?
Yeah, we are PG.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I said some things after the race that weren't PG, so to him, but that was just ridiculous. I mean, there's no other way to say it. I mean, that was. I know it's the last lap, and I know that this is top split racing, but you shouldn't rejoin the track like that. That's just ridiculous. He should know better.
Yeah, look, it was a mistake that I think we've all probably made at one point or another. Nerves might have got the better of him and misjudged the relative. But look, it was unfortunate. I mean, as it turns out, you're probably on for a top five, which Hawken Grebstad ended up taking out. Again, a bit of a surprising result given where things were at throughout the race. But then to have it taken away or snatched away from you was a little disappointing, I'm sure. But certainly, it's great to see you out there, mate. What time is it where you are at the moment?
Currently, it is 5:07 a.m.
Damn. So you've got up bright and early for us once again, mate. So it is greatly appreciated. Thank you for joining us. Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to tonight, mate?
I'd like to give a shout out to Hakon for being, I think Hakon and Schultze for, I guess, being the only people that raced me clean through the entire race. I guess.
Yeah.
Good kudos to them.
Beautiful. All right, mate. Great to see you, as I said, and hopefully we'll see you for the final round next week, so long as the alarm goes off.
All right. Great broadcast, guys. See you later.
There you go, Corey. That was Christian Gabanka joining us once again all the way from the US, bright and early as it turns out. But look, great to see Christian out there. Shame for his race not going the way it could have done. But look, there's always next week.
Well, that's right, Alex. And he was going to be on for a great result. Just one lapse in judgment by another competitor rejoining the track, and it did ruin his race. But at the end of the day, it wasn't a real crash. He is still very much alive and well, and he can always return again next week and show them how it's done on track. And given that he does wake up to his alarm, I definitely think that he will, because he's definitely one of the faster guys that we have. And the only American that we have that comes and joins us for these races. It's always great to see him on track. He's always a great character to have around.
Yeah, for sure. Great to see him. Big part of the community. It's great. All right, mate, speaking of next week, what do you got on for the viewers at home?
Well, we've got a lot of finals throughout the week. As everyone knows, it's week 12. We go into week 13 next week, new build. So a lot of exciting things coming up. On Tuesday, I've got my Fastlane esports races, the fixed pro late models, and the Open 360s. That'll be in the afternoon. on my channel, over on the Aussie Sim Commentator channel, twitch.tv/Aussie_Sim_commentator. We have the next round of Output Racing League action live from the Kansas Speedway. It'll be a highline kind of a race, a lot of slide jobs on the paved oval. On the Thursday night, on my channel again, we are going to have the ODSE 360 Power Series final from, I'm pretty sure this one's going to be from the Knoxville Speedway or Charlotte. I can't quite remember. I'm pretty sure it's one of those. Actually, no, it's from Lanier. That's right, it's from the Lanier Speedway. Friday morning, NIS from Kansas. Again, it'll be a high, wide, and handsome kind of a race, and I'm probably going to go into it with no practice like I always have been. And of course, Alex, on Friday night, we have Friday Night Race Club, which will be an absolutely great show for us to be a part of.
Yeah, looking forward to that one. Missed this week, but back next week for the Open Wheelers F3s on a Friday. Look to be a lot of fun there. But folks, that will about do us. Let me get rid of where's my thing? That one. All right. All things top split on your screen at the moment, of course. Fantastic support from the community as always. It's for the community, by the community. That's what this is all about. Great to see so many drivers back on screen. The race broadcast replay, of course, will be on the Top Split YouTube channel. All the podcasts are now on YouTube. We're transitioning away from the website. Join us in the Discord that's on your screen at the moment for all the race post-race interviews, and it's where we do the broadcast from. But until next time, folks, I've been your host, Alex McKellar, and joining me, as always, is the chaotic one himself, Corey Steinhauser. And until next time, I will say ciao for now.